This is Christian News Focus, a look at the personalities and organizations God is using to accomplish His work in the world.
Have you ever wished you knew something about a loved one who is no longer with you, particularly as it relates to their spiritual legacy? Hello, I'm Chris Howell. Recently, we talked with Catherine Torres regarding her book titled Unburied Treasure, A Guide to Leaving Your Legacy.
I used to do a lot of retirement center and nursing home ministry, and I would see so many of the people who lived there that had a lost look in their eye. So I started speaking to them about leaving their legacy, and I would see this blank look in their eye like I wouldn't even know where to start. And I really felt the Lord led me to write a book that gives them a framework for all they have to do is just respond to questions, and it helps spark their memories that they might not even think to write about, but it gives it just an easy framework for them to just fill in the blanks, basically.
It's one of the things that I thought was so unique about the book. I mean, again, it's not something where you're going to sit down and read about how to go about leaving your legacy, but in fact, it is just that a guide.
Right, and the greatest legacy that a Christian has, you can only imagine 4 or 5 generations later, they may not know God, but if they pick up your book that you have left for your family, they have the opportunity to maybe encounter Christ because of your advice and the things that you talk about in this book.
As I hear you talk about this and talk about the experience there at the facilities with the elderly clients, if you will, I mean, how did you go about the idea, though, of actually putting together this book? I mean, because as you look at it, it's put together so well to be able to really make you think about the things that you want family members to remember you for.
Maybe because I was such a broken child. And if I had been able to read something in there that would have helped me to not have the thoughts that I had maybe about my parents or my grandparents, I think it would have been helpful and healing to me. And I know that I'm not the greatest person in the world myself, but I want my children to know what my values are.
Those who take Unburied Treasure and put it in their hands and actually leave that legacy for their families, what is the one thing you would hope would come out of this?
Connections. Connections with parents, grandparents, great-great-grandparents, and the greatest of all is a spiritual legacy. So many people would love to know that they endured hardships and did not fail because they had their beliefs based in God. And in this book, they're able to write some of those things down and pass it on to so many generations in the future so that the true and living God will reign supreme in their heritage. It's part of their family. They can see and feel God through their past relatives. And I think the spiritual legacy is the greatest part. So the writer of this book will be able to respond to the questions always with a faith-based response.
All right. So Catherine Torres, I think you just said it best. You haven't written a book. You simply put together a guide. The book is written by those who will be leaving their legacy. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
For more information on Catherine Torres, go to catherinetorres.com. Reporting for Christian News Focus, I'm Chris Howell.
Thanks for joining us for Christian News Focus. You can hear this and other Christian interest stories at our website, christiannewsweekly.org.